Yotanwa might just be the best female character in Kingdom. I know in the latest Kingdom movie she only appears once, but I'd argue her actor, Masami Nagasawa, has done one of the best jobs out of the entire cast in terms of embodying the character. In the manga, she is introduced as the intimidating Mountain King, one that would pass judgment onto any plains dweller that dared approach them. This was no surprise, especially after the infamous betrayal all those years ago. She may seem like the typical big bad at first, but turns out her role in the story would go on to hold great significance. She became the one to connect both worlds, meaning when Sei offered to renew their alliance of past and revealed his dream of unifying all of China, Yotanwa shared the same vision without hesitation. She too desired the unification of all mountain tribes and to be on peaceful terms with Qin, to go beyond unification and broaden their world. The key to this character is the simultaneous open-mindedness without showing naivety. Yotanwa's nature is complex and interesting. Though it was rare to see a woman on the battlefield, Yotanwa is still well respected by all her people. And not only that, those that she would unify into her kingdom later on. She displays a strong but gentle will. She has a no-nonsense attitude, but at the same time shows no tyrannical tendencies. This brings us to the main topic of today. We know what we expect from Yotanwa in the live action. So how did Masami tackle the challenges of translating such a character onto the big screen? Without going into too much detail, I think she did great, displaying that unparalleled confidence without a hint of arrogance. I'm sure most people loved Masami's performance of that fearless king, rightfully beloved by her loyal followers. To begin with, Yotanwa's introduction in the movie is almost an outright horror scene. From the sound effects to the setting to the menacing aura of the character itself, Masami makes it clear that Yotanwa holds all the power in this room, like she is some demon that is asking Sei what his heart desires, but to no end. Almost as if there's no point, because her demeanor says she doesn't actually care about what he wants. One thing is on her mind: vengeance for how her ancestors were treated in the past. Here's the interesting thing. I really enjoyed Masami's portrayal because Yotanwa's intention really comes through here. Anyone can tell Yotanwa questioning Sei does not necessarily come from rage or anger. Rather, it comes from no longer seeing the light. As in, it is hopeless to expect anything other than what happened before with what they call the plains dwellers. Conversely, Sei's character, as we all know, is the embodiment of light. His entire path is to shed a new light onto the entirety of China. Ryo Yoshizawa, the actor for Sei, does a fantastic job creating that firm voice that can't help but ooze hope. His voice speaks of the complete opposite of Yotanwa, at least for now. It comes from a place of the greatest light, because Sei is taking responsibility. He acknowledges that blood has been spilled and must be spilled for a better future. Thus, Sei's sincere light contrasts nicely with Yotanwa's void. Turns out it is that lack of naivety that resonates with Yotanwa later on. When Sei expresses a dream for unification, Yotanwa knows it is truthful. Not only that, she knows it is something that Sei has given great thought. This is when we see Masami act really well. Without even seeing her face, her entire demeanor changes. It is clear that Yotanwa's real vision likely aligns with that of Sei's. Yotanwa's body language slightly relaxes and voice lightens up, making it all the more clear. If that wasn't obvious enough as to Yotanwa's true intentions, in the next scene, Yotanwa for the first time during this whole conversation sits forward. This is the one action which has stood the test of time. Ever play someone in a game of 2K and suddenly decide to sit forward because it's time to get serious? Well, this is exactly what just happened. As a result, Yotanwa's human side starts to come through. The slight anxiety in her voice, recognizing their rough nature in front of Sei. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's expressing an inner struggle, but definitely shows some level of vulnerability. Again, well done by Masami. Furthermore, Yotanwa finally reveals her face and for the first time lets it be known that she is a woman, although it's not like it's something that she's trying to hide, which you can see by Masami's portrayal. Despite women on the battlefield being an anomaly, as mentioned earlier, she commands the room. When she speaks, everyone listens. By removing her mask and publicly declaring Qin as their closest ally, Yotanwa is choosing to be very vulnerable. Masami displays this through a slight smile, which indicates a certain level of relief, or rather hope, for her people's future, before firmly stating that they will go to war with their new allies. The acting here is phenomenal. These two moments following Yotanwa's introduction add so much depth to her character. Like I said before, at first, Yotanwa seems like the typical stereotypical villain, and Masami portrays it in this way not long before, showing that not necessarily it's all a facade, but rather the bravado can lessen a little because Chin is truly an ally of the mountain people. All in all, this scene's impact on the viewer's perception of Yotanwa is obvious. Hell of a character. Now onto the shameless aura farming. In the battle at the royal palace, Yotanwa pulls out 2 blades and dispatches 2 royal guards with ease. Just look at how badass and nonchalant Masami is. Though martial skills and strategic prowess are important, what's more important is how this is showcased alongside leadership to solidify Yotanwa as a powerful general to the viewer. So what's boggled my mind this entire time is how Yotanwa is always able to keep calm. It's a beat that is one-to-one with the manga. Yotanwa is almost never caught panicking. If she isn't calm completely, it is only because she is spitting some legendary speech to boost morale. So much so that Sei, who was previously panicked, stands firm also. I reiterate, once again, Masami does a great job showing that Yotanwa is someone who remains calm and confident in the face of any danger. Moreover, the intentional shakiness of the camera while Yotanwa is taking out multiple soldiers further highlights this impressive strength and leadership that we know and love in the manga. However, to capture the high intensity and tension of the situation, I'm pretty sure this is a movie-only inclusion. Yotanwa is seen leaping through the air like she's manga Shin doing his iconic jump attack. She literally takes out a field trip group worth of soldiers like they're nothing. Epic, I'm all for it. But her doing a war cry and not her soldiers is a little more of a rare sight. The movie then goes back to her being all nonchalant once again. She's just so badass. I can't say it enough. From the clean choreography to the poised facial expressions, Masami truly is doing right by the character. It tells us all we need to know about Yotanwa's insane prowess and abilities. Ultimately, I loved Masami Nagasawa as Yotanwa. I know I'm doing tricks on it, but she really did do a great job. The thing I'm most happy about is arguably Yotanwa's most iconic scene, being the entire introduction to Sei. The beats and nuances, I think she hit the mark perfectly, getting the initial almost demonic nature and switching it up to slowly revealing Yotanwa's true intention for sure did wonders for a more nuanced narrative and of course greater character development. Without a doubt, if Masami's performance and portrayal of Yotanwa wasn't up to par, the Kingdom live action would not have been the same. She has absolutely played a significant role in the series' success. As for the legacy of her character, Masami surely has had one of the most lasting impressions on Kingdom fans, and I'm sure made them fall in love, if not more, with Yotanwa. Did you enjoy this video? Check out my other videos. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated on my latest videos. I appreciate you guys.